Hello and welcome to the Defiance Silver Corp presentation. We're happy to give you an update of what's been happening in Zacatecas, as well as ongoing exploration and development at our Tepal project. Defiance is a Mexican-focused precious metals and base metals exploration company with 2 projects in Mexico. We will be making some forward-looking statements, so pay attention to this disclaimer. You can find it on our website. As mentioned, we are a Mexican-focused exploration and development company. We have 2 projects, our Zacatecas Silver assets and our Tepal project, both located about 4 hours away from Guadalajara. San Acacio project, where we're currently drilling, has a small starter resource. We're looking to expand on that resource, and we recently put out news from an ongoing 10,000 meter exploration program there. Tepal is a pre-feasibility PEA level asset with 1.8 million ounces of gold and 813 million pounds of copper in the measured and indicated category. Both of these assets have tremendous infrastructure. In the case of Zacatecas, we have a number of different types of option and agreements, including some 100% ownership without NSR. At the Tepal project, we have a 100% ownership and an option to purchase the 2.5% NSR there. Defiance Silver has a robust resource base at Tepal. We have significant exploration project potential at both projects. We're building on the resource currently at Zacatecas. We're drilling. We have a team of people that have done this before. We have an exploration team and a senior management team based in Mexico that have done this for cumulatively up to 100 years. Our global exploration experience includes about 200 years of global mineral exploration and mining success. This company, and especially our Tepal project, has tremendous leverage to precious metal prices. Every $250 of gold price increases adds $100 million to the post-tax NPV of Tepal. And we have that building resource upside located at our Zacatecas project. Our company is highly aligned with the shareholders. Management, key shareholders, institutions, and strategic key shareholders have up to 40% of the company ownership, and we're drilling right now. We recently put out a news release on April 28th with an update on our 5,000 meter exploration program in Zacatecas, and that program was expanded to 10,000 meters based on the results that we've seen to date. 2020, 2021 has been a tremendous year for our shareholders and our stakeholders. We ended the quarter with over $10 million at cash in hand, $150 million market cap, about $150 million market cap, and just over 200,000 or 200 million shares, common shares of the stock. As mentioned, our institutional and key management and key shareholders own about 35 to 40% of this ownership. Zacatecas is the world's premier destination for silver exploration and development. Zacatecas state is the largest silver producing state in Mexico. Mexico is the largest silver producing country on the planet. We have an option to acquire 100% of our San Acacio project. We outright own our Legardos claims through a option agreement, actually a purchase agreement with MAG Silver, which we completed in 2018. And in 2020, we tripled our land position in the district with an option to acquire Pan American Silver's Zacatecas district land holdings. As mentioned, we have a small starter resource, and that was done prior to Defiance Silver's involvement in the Zacatecas district. Since then, we've completed over 10,000 meters of drilling, and we have an ongoing drill program targeting the heart of the Veta Grande district right now. The camp has seen about 450 years of some way, shape, or form of mining history. That doesn't mean that there's this historical mining camp that's seen a lot of modern exploration and development. Cozamin Mine has had a $150 million investment from Wheaton Precious Metals recently. There's been new issuers in the area that are seeing the tremendous potential for exploration discoveries. We're located about 30 kilometers away from the world's largest primary silver mine, Fresnillo. And right next door to Fresnillo, MAG Silver, based on the discoveries that they made at Juanicipio, have taken their project into production as well. So this historical camp has seen a lot of modern development, a lot of modern investment, and that's leading to tremendous discoveries and new mines being developed. With some infrastructure here. There's paved roads to the property, power over the property. We have a host of infrastructure with underground mining and surface mining on our assets alone. And this is a 1 billion ounce historical silver district. And we like to think of this project as Fresnillo from the 1960s. So as I mentioned, we're about 30 kilometers away from the Fresnillo project, the world's largest primary silver mine. In the 1960s, Fresnillo was out of ore. They're a very similar size camp in terms of their metal endowment at that time. They went back and started doing discovery-focused geoscience, and that led to a number of discoveries that really turned the lights on back in the district. And that led to, most recently, MAG Silver making their discoveries and then turning on the Juanicipio mine. Our neighbors, Cozamin, at Capstone Mining's Cozamin operation, they did the same thing, went back, discovery-focused geoscience, and made some tremendous discoveries that turned on their operation again. So we know that it works, and that's what we're doing. Our 3D modeling has led us to discover there's a tremendous amount of mineralization outside of the principal structures in the Veta Grande, which was the historical mining operation. We know that this is a very long-lived system, a very strong system, and structures that are present nearby to that, or structurally present to that main Veta Grande system, they're well mineralized, up to 3 kilograms per ton silver. That's substantial because in 1975, when Fresnillo had made those discoveries, that was 3 meters of 1,000 grams silver, 1.6 grams gold, and about 1% combined lead zinc. We're seeing that same grade and we're seeing that same metal tenure, that metal relationship. We also know that the system has a lot more vertical profile than what our resource estimate has demonstrated, where we've hit high-grade mineralization up to 300 meters below the current resource area. On April 28th, we put out a most recent news update on the ongoing drilling. And that demonstrated that we're hitting substantial grades over substantial widths about 300 meters below that current resource area. You can see here in this long section where we're getting up to 1 kilogram per ton silver. Again, quite a substantial elevation below the resource estimate, and then below the historical workings that were put into place over the variety of mining years that were going on in this project. This picture shows you the awesome infrastructure that we have on site, drilling underneath a power line right next to an open pit. There's a paved road in the background. We leverage that excellent infrastructure with a track drill, an operating partnership with Major Drilling. We have low-cost drilling, and we're delivering results at a much greater depth than we'd ever seen before on the property. In 2020, we acquired Pan American Silver's Zacatecas District land holdings. It's an option to acquire 100% ownership. Pan American Silver is going to retain the 2% NSR on this asset. It tripled our land position in the district. It added about 20 kilometers of vein strike length to the property, all exploration targets, some that have been tested, some that are on strike with existing resource estimates that we have the drilled on strike extension of. We saw this as a fundamental acquisition that adds a pipeline of targets to support our building resource target at San Acacio. There's both high-grade exploration targets that have been drilled and then near-term exploration targets that include multi-kilometer wide structures, such as the Palenque structure, which is a 4-kilometer long, up to 12-meter wide structure that grades up to 700 grams per ton silver at surface. At one point, this was Pan American Silver's, or one of Pan American Silver's top greenfields exploration targets. We intend to test that with ongoing exploration, ongoing surface exploration, and hopefully a drill program in the next 6 to 8 months. The structure is well mineralized, as you can see by the colors on the screen here, and it runs up to 700 grams per ton silver at surface with some isolated samples up to 1,000 grams per ton. We believe that this is the key pipeline target for our exploration growth strategy within the Zacatecas district, and this acquisition was really fundamental for us being able to build up those resource targets on site. So what are we doing in Zacatecas? Discovery-focused mineral systems geoscience works. It worked at Fresnillo, it worked at Juanicipio, Mag Silver's flagship asset, it worked at Cozamin, and it's been working for us here at Zacatecas, and we're fully financed to complete that program. We have an ongoing exploration program, up to 10,000 meters of drilling to complete this year. We have ongoing results, so a lot of catalysts to look forward to moving forward in the next 12 months. And really what we're doing is trying to add ounces to an advanced asset in a very prolific district that's very well mineralized. These mineral systems have been well documented to be long-lived mineral systems, and they're producing a lot of ounces in this part of the world. In 2018, we acquired a company called Valoro Resources. It was a combination merger acquisition where we got 100% ownership of the Tepal asset. Most recently, we entered into an option agreement to acquire a 2.5% NSR. So we have a clear path to total ownership of this asset. It's a very different asset than Zacatecas, but it's very advanced as well. As a measured and indicated resource, 1.8 million ounces gold, 813 million pounds of copper. About $27 million has been spent to date, 60,000 meters of drilling. A PFS was done in 2012, updated in 2013, and then a PEA done in 2017, demonstrating some very interesting economics on this asset. Infrastructure is great. You can drive to it from Guadalajara. It's road accessible. There's power to the nearby town of Zacatecas, water, and the closest port facilities include the Manzanillo port, which is the largest concentrate shipping facility in Mexico. Unlike a lot of projects in Mexico where you have ejido ownership, this is all surface rights are owned by private landowners. So there's a lot more of a straightforward process to discuss with the surface right owners about long-term surface acquisition and long-term surface rights agreement. What we've discovered is that there is an untested high-grade gold feeder system that we believe is controlling a lot of the mineralization in the system, and that's part of our exploration pipeline target on this asset. That being said, the economics done in 2017 do demonstrate some robust economics at $12.50 gold and $2.50 copper, $169 million post-tax NPV, 24% post-tax IRR, and a 2.3-year payback based on a $214 million initial capex. At $1,500 gold and $3 copper, that post-tax NPV doubles to $345 million US. So as I mentioned, every $250 the gold price increases adds $100 million to the post-tax NPV of this project. These are all based off of the 2017 PEA numbers that use the 2012 resource estimate as their base fundamentals for that resource calculation. There's been about $27 million spent on this asset, 60,000 meters of drilling. And like I said, this was a combination merger. We purchased this project for about $4.2 million in stock. So truly an accretive transaction at the bottom of the last market. We see this project as being able to host 100,000 ounces of gold equivalent. And we see that being possible by the addition of ounces to the back end of this project through the organic discovery of ounces, not by pushing ounces from the front end to the back end. There is a robust production profile from years 1 through 5, over 100,000 ounces of gold being produced in years 1 through 3, and that's from a combination oxide heap leach and then sulfide milling capacity. We do have that lofty goal of 100,000 ounces, and I'll get into where we think we can add those ounces. But that being said, the life of mine right now is a tidy operation, 10 years, initial cap is $214 million, production averaging 79,000 ounces of gold and 32 million pounds of copper, and all-in sustaining cost of $396 per ounce. So still a pretty good operation, but we do see the capacity to increase that, especially back-end mining, because as you can see, your cash costs do go up and your ounces go down. So where are we going to add those ounces? Well, in the PEFS done in 2012, there was about 180,000 ounces that were in the inferred category, not included into the mining study or the conceptual mining study, because they were inferred ounces and lower confidence ounces. Those are some of the highest value NSR ounces per ton on the property. So high value rock that we think we can upgrade into a measured and indicated category through confirmation drilling and some more definition drilling at depth in the South Pit. And those are pretty good numbers. 104 meters of 1.45 grams of gold, 0.4% copper. But as well, we have high-grade gold targets that are located adjacent to some of the pits that we might believe that they might be controlling or feeder structures to what these pits could be as alteration halos to these feeder structures, such as the Tezate hole 18 or this off Tezate target, almost in the middle of this map here. It's 25 grams gold and 565 grams silver in a very different type of mineralization style than we're seeing in the Tezate pit. I think that Tezate pit might represent much more of an alteration or a lower grade halo outside of this structurally controlled, probably feeder structure, or what would be called a feeder structure, that does have some supporting evidence, such as a large chargeability anomaly at depth, as well as in the center of that map, North Tezate structure, holes that we're testing, what we believe is some pretty hot alteration that were all increasing in grade and alteration at depth. The other target we're quite excited about is this mid-zone target. It's located between the north and south zone, and that has the hottest alteration on the property, characteristic of a high sulfidation environment. You can see that the north and south zone have both been drilled extensively. There's about 1 million ounces of gold there, and that mid-zone has never seen any drilling, and that does have characteristics of a high sulfidation target, hottest alteration on the property, advanced argillic, and no drill holes to date on the property. So these are our near-term exploration projects and near-term exploration targets that we think will build ounces with to support that exploration and development pipeline of 100,000 ounces a year over 10 years. The nice thing about these targets is they do represent development-friendly targets, as they are located adjacent to the conceptual pit boundaries of the Tezate North Zone and South Zone design. As mentioned, we have a robust resource base, significant exploration potential on both assets, with a team of people that know how to do it. We have strong leverage to precious metal prices, and we're highly aligned with shareholders, philosophically aligned with almost 40% ownership by management, key shareholders, institutions, and insiders. The nicest thing about it, we're drilling right now. There's a number of catalysts coming out over the next 12 months. We have a 5,000 meter program that was increased to 10,000 meters. We have ongoing drilling going on, sitting in Mexico right now. And we will see that this drill bit does keep turning and delivering information with building out resources both at San Acacio and hopefully in the next 12 months over at Tepal. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the company, just on social media, and I look forward to following up with you about the exciting opportunities at Defiance Silver.